All right, so there are a few things we can do with the Cossack squat to really optimize the movement. The first thing is going to be go wider than you think you need to go. So assume a wide stance and then go a little bit wider. We don't want to be in a position where we feel unstable, but it is actually a wider stance than you would expect. So as you can see here, I'm nice and wide. This just allows me to sit into each side a little bit more. The second thing is to really trust yourself in that bottom position. Your body's going to get used to that mobility it needs at the ankle, hip and knee joints. You've just got to trust it and then slowly move into a deeper range of motion each time you perform it. So really trust yourself, nice wide stance. The other thing is a bit of an anatomy lesson, but it's basically how we open up the hips a little bit more to ensure that we can really sit into the movement. The way the ball and socket joint work at the hip mean that if you don't sit back and create an anterior pelvic tilt, then essentially your hip joint is going to block off your femur joint, your long thigh bone, from opening up anymore, because it's blocking the ball from rotating. So what we want to do is really sit back into the squat. So send that butt back and then come into an anterior pelvic tilt, which is essentially creating that arch in the upper back. So if you think about sticking your butt back and belly button towards the floor, that's your anterior pelvic tilt position. So you're using your hips to send the butt back, slight arch in the back, and then that's just going to allow you to sit into that Cossack squat position at the bottom there a little bit more. Final thing is, once you start to find your depth and really sit into the movement on each side, you'll notice that I can point my toes up by driving my heel down into the floor on the side of the extended leg. This just allows you to get a little bit further in again, because it's taking some of the pressure off that hamstring muscle on the inside of your leg. So as you sit into one side, you're sitting the butt back, you're arching the back slightly, and you're starting to turn those toes up towards the sky as you sit in. Really trust yourself in that bottom position and then drive back up through the leg that's doing the work.